right, welcome to Video Head Cleaner, the podcast. It's coming for your data. Just kidding. That's the aliens.
They're eating all of our data, Kyle. All of the data.
This is terrible news. Today we are covering War of the Worlds 2025 here. Where they do have a new take on, what's happening. And this was filmed during COVID, and it just kind of quietly squeaked out this year, 5 years later, and it is not a good film. And we're here to talk about it with you, friend. So,
yeah, just what I needed right now was a reminder of COVID claustrophobia and living by way of Zoom calls and interface. It felt like a COVID film for sure.
Oh man, did it?
Yeah.
And, I don't think a lot of people expected that going in because it's 2025 again. Yeah, and it just. This is probably the first movie. I think it is. Yeah, we've covered this just kind of like bad, and I mean, I rarely want to say that about movies for the most part. But, But I'm confidently declaring this
is our first ragging episode. Like we're going to be doing some ragging on this film. I gave the film a fair hearing. I sat down and I engaged it fully. I tried to find those good things about it, and I wrote them down where they happened. So I have a concise list, a short list of little positive things to talk about. But yeah, this is. Oh man, this is really one of the worst films I've ever experienced in my life.
And it's in no small part due to its format. The director that uses this, maybe it's the producer, I'd have to look. This could be a low-effort episode, but frankly, that was one of the most low-effort movies I've seen in some time, so yeah, I'm not going to put in more effort than they did for this.
I'm going to bring up their names now because they're going to be held to account.
Whichever one, the technique's called screen life, and it's what we witnessed where it's like, watch me jump from this app to this app where I put in a password, or while you watch me do an email draft, and then hover over and then think about it, and then just the excruciating what we saw where it never really leaves the computer situation. Because the producer's been involved in several films. I have the list down there at the bottom to talk about, but
it's like combining a recording of your screen usage with a mime. It's highly stylized and almost it has the kind of deliberate gesture-like quality of that kind of performance in a way that it almost feels stilted at times. Drama is expressed with certain terse mouse movements and whatnot.
For sure, because there's not much else. It's just a headshot situation, and so you do get, especially when bad things are happening on screen, you just see Ice Cube squinting and being like, shit, whatever. I cannot do his line delivery justice in this movie because it's either some mix of disinterested, dispassionate, or just an inability to deliver lines. Perhaps maybe it's just not within him.
As we're going to come back to a lot, this is just Ice Cube giving a react video to this entire film,
and it's the same reaction the whole time.
Yeah,
pretty much.
They just put him in a cardigan and put him in a lightly furnished room and just rolled camera for 90 minutes when he was doing a react film to a film that had already been completed. I really feel.
And he'll see awful things and just be like, damn, that's terrible. And that's actually more emotion I put into that than he will. I don't know.
We'll have a lot to talk about Ice Cube's range, quote unquote, as an actor. quote unquote. Yeah, strap yourselves in,
I
dear
texted Tommy
audience.
as soon as I saw this because it came out like that day, and I was like, "This is gonna be awful." And like I hadn't read any of the things that's poured in after that. They were like Rotten Tomatoes 0% Club or like all these things. It just looked like ass, especially when it starred Ice Cube making the same little scrunch confused face that he makes the whole movie. And it was like him and Eva Longoria, who's never really reached the same heights after Desperate Housewives. Like she's, bless her, she's trying. Like, or I would be looking for her IMDb page after this to do whatever. And it's just like, oh, it's not been a good road after all of that. So I was right. I mean, I really didn't want to be proved right, but it's just not a good film.
I tried real hard to appreciate whatever I could. But I'm going to go on record. This film has some of the worst writing there are a couple of times when I had to pause the film and rewind and go back and listen to a line and then write it down because it was just so bad that I couldn't believe that this actually it made it to final production. I can't believe it's just a couple of times I was just gobsmacked by how bad the line was that I had to bear witness, and you will have to as well, dear audience.
Behold, garbage we have documented for you, listener.
Cower into fear.
And I mean, part of it, I didn't just mean to entirely shit on Ice Cube or Eva Longoria there. Part of this is just that there was a War of the Worlds movie that was done by Spielberg and starred Tom Cruise, arguably the biggest action, or I mean, just movie star of like our generation. And so it's such a big swing to try and do that. But when I was like Prime Video original, starring Ice Cube, and that, like, it's just like, hey, this is bound to be a disaster almost regardless. Like, you're following that. And so it was, and it is, and like, it's going to be a neat little ride as we go here.
Yeah. All right. So we dive in.
So we shall dive in. We are pretty much just thrown in with our main character, one William Radford, being played by Ice Cube. I will commonly refer to him as Will Cube for this, just because that is how I put it in my notes, and I don't want to take that from you. So
Will Cube it is.
We got some Johnny music playing right away. He's talking into a computer screen, and we follow his computer screen as he excitingly logs in and opens applications. Like what did you call it? This is screen life.
Screen life. Yeah, that's one way of thinking about this aesthetic. It's a kind of it's an odd, almost second person perspective where you are in the place of the interface or the computer,
the monitor,
generally
like
speaking,
staring back at them. Or
in this film, it's not just what's on anyone's screen. It's kind of what's happening computation wise, right? It's things that are happening in the computer that you get a window into or a glimpse of, right? So it's not just the screen. You know, it's not just any character's life on the screen. It's kind of a heightened perspective, you know, which for better or for worse is debatable. Like, is this a neat device, or is this like, were they not rigorous or disciplined? I don't know.
I've never been drawn to the format. I mean, there are definitely, I mean, I can think of some like teen murder movies where they're all like on the group Zoom call and they keep getting picked off one by one or certain things. And that may be one of his as well. Cause like I said, the producer has like 4 or 5 he's done in this format. He's done enough to like need a name for them when people are like, what is this? And so, and that is wrong. We are here to tell you anyway. This is bad, and we is a shame.
But yeah, we'll have to talk more about this perspective, you know, later, because I have musings about it. I feel like it's a for better and for worse kind of thing. But
it's
anyway.
just banal. It's like to somebody that does office work or something, to see teams drama. You're like,
they're you know, it's like a lot of people's lived experiences by way of these computer interfaces. for better and for worse. And so should film capture that or embody it or be about it in some way just because that's human experience? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I guess by way of this film, I'm opposed to it. If this is as good as it gets, then I'm opposed to it.
The inherent drama of him like hovering over answering Sandra NASA, but then he picks his daughter every time or whatever.
Yeah, just exactly. The hovering drama all the time of what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so we get him logging in here. He does just kind of like log in via voice to his computer. He was like, Will Radford, and then it's like it just unlocked, I guess. It was like cool. But he logs into this like application that is all at once like almost like impossible and like so oversimplified for what he's doing, because like there's no actual like logic behind it, but it's essentially like a super surveillance app, because he's looking at the Pentagon and the Lincoln Memorial Building and the White House, and like it'll be like threat level medium, but there's no other data on screen and it doesn't say why it's medium. It's just like, all right, so like, yeah, what can you do with that, Will? I guess, but yeah, compared to what? But then it shows like a screen of people outside the White House, and there's one guard there, like an actual like police or security officer. The program scans him and his threat level and is like, oh, we're good. But I'm like, he works there. Why the fuck are you scanning the people like leaning into the fence or whatever else? Like, this was the dumbest fucking thing. Like immediately, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Well, that's the other aesthetic of this film. We get the user interface part of it, the screen life,
where they overlay on what we're seeing through the cameras.
And the other aesthetic is the surveillance pornography of it. Right?
Oh yeah,
the casual, easy surveillance and assessment that this one person is able to do. There's a kind of easeful power about it.
Oh my god, the movie could be called Patriot Act: The Consequences. Like,
yeah, it could be called middle-aged Big Dad vibes or something. The movie, yeah,
it's whatever Dad wants in this regard. It's definitely like Dad heaven when the way he's controlling these things.
But like a certain socioeconomic dad, like a middle manager kind of dad. Like, this is not a heavy laborer, working man dad. Like, this is a mode of power that is familiar to a kind of desk jockey weekend warrior kind.
Oh my god. Well, it's the laziest thing ever. He like leans back and like clicks on an SUV, and it's like, it's probably good. And then he like clicks on a car and he like jumps in mid conversation to nothing in particular. It didn't seem like this was a national security threat. It was just like a woman bitching about something, like to her friend rather. It was just like, it was nothing. It was a nothing call. And he's just like sipping coffee while like, listening to this. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, he's just jumping around to things, and he's like, all good in the hood of DC here.
It kind of we're invited to really be comfortable with this perspective from the bad guy. I mean, this is someone who is part of the surveillance state and is actively abusing the power that they have. It just in the very, very beginning of the film, this guy is just seemingly arbitrarily snooping on people's phone calls, engaging in arbitrary assessments of the threat of things, with who knows what kind of violent response at his disposal.
Or criteria.
There's a bit where he's snooping in on a call, and it's kind of a joke. The guy is saying, "Gee, I feel like I'm being like spied on, by way of my phone." And like the friend that he's talking is saying, "You're just being paranoid." Mm-hmm. But of course, the audience were like, "He is being spied on." It's like, but yeah, he is being spied on. Like, we're being invited to laugh from the wrong direction, right?
For sure,
it feels like it.
This is our this is our main character, and he's just like, I don't know, it's nonsense, and it's nonsense in the way that, like, again, he ends his montage by like scanning numerous DC buildings, and it just says like analysis complete with no threat showing, but there's no other metrics. Like, what are you quantifying? What is this? It's like, it's what a non-computer person thinks computers do, and he just I don't know. So we're like 90 seconds into this movie, and I'm already questioning like the gimmick and the writing of this entirely. And
yeah
but by God, for you listener, we're gonna power through this drunk. Like, don't worry.
So we're gonna circle back. Will Cube says this later, and I almost fell over and died. We'll circle back on this. Oh my god,
the casual way he navigates his office stair is so fucking funny. Like, or like he'll outright have people telling him like, this is going to help you and this is going to be great, and he's like, I don't want it. And you're like, okay,
you cannot take the ice cube out of Will Radford. You just cannot. It is Ice Cube in a cardigan. Just remember this.
So, I mean, we see like boxes identifying human figures, you know, the way like an AI camera would see people as he continues to click around. And presumably for technology this advanced, he wouldn't like need to visually see or click the threats. Like he's clicking around like he's like a manual Overwatch person, as if we wouldn't like have something like boil up to him or like get a notification of some kind. Like he's getting notifications left and right, but he's just like looking around being like, cool and good.
Yeah, I can imagine in putting this together that a decision would have been made to make this more engaging.
No, it has to be, yeah, because it's like, just like, I was watching that Biggest Loser documentary just came out. It was like, we know how to make them lose weight, but they would just be like eating less, and nobody wants to watch that. And so it's like, we made them work their ass off, and we yelled at them. And so it's like, as opposed to being like, we have technology that's so good it will auto-detect a threat, and then we'll like figure it out. He's like, yeah, this is what he's doing. It's like he's looking busy, as if his boss were like over his shoulder, and he's like,
it's a way for him to like physically punish the target somehow. Like he's just going to like power click it. Right. Wait for him to physically dominate it in this one way that he possibly can. Right. You know, given what he's doing.
Well, he's just being portrayed as this like Overwatch-esque character that has to have direct eyes in it, and then he like, when it makes me laugh because he's about to use this other tool that he can type like any words in, and it doesn't ever give him like multiple results. It doesn't ever question him. It just is like done. And so he'll type in domestic terrorist suspects watch list, which I'm like, okay, you probably should have like a link to that, but just for the audience sake, it's just like we need to spell this shit out. This
is maybe a good time for me to talk about how much I dislike the script. This is one of the dumbest scripts I've ever experienced, and this is a great example of how just dumb this movie is. The domestic terror watch list, singular, just this one thing. It's just we'll just go get it.
Yep,
we'll just go get it. Yeah, just the list. Fuck.
It scrolls down to like number 8. Yeah, it's like
sure, okay. I mean, just like okay, fine, whatever. I mean, geez, you know, nowadays maybe there is just one dumb list of these things. Maybe this film is actually very prescient. Who knows? Right. But anyway, the script is just dumb. Okay, there's no reason why there can't be more detail about this. At least just flash a little bit on the screen or something, or just a little snippet of jargon that would indicate that this character has a knowledge set about this, like knows government bureaucracy and titles of things. Just something.
Or he seemed to know exactly who he was looking for on the list, but like, why are you searching for the list then? And like, just search for that guy. Or like, they could have easily shown us like what this disruptor did, but they showed a list of like 7 blank people, and then like he has an avatar. Like he got to pick his like Steam profile photo or something, which was funny. But I don't know. So he types that in so us dumbasses can know what's happening, essentially, is what I figure. But in that same vein, we then see him surveil a very pregnant woman, and one of her like, I don't know if you noticed these weird shifting data points, but she certainly had baby daddy Mark Goodman. There's like a whole data point there.
Yeah, so. One of these things is not like the other, and it has an oddly catty note attached to it.
Like a very AAVE like computer entry into the
baby daddy, an official category
I know.
in surveillance parlance.
There's gonna be a lot of things in this movie. It's like, who programmed that? Who fucking put that in there? Like as an option, just to even show up on your screen. Like,
so we're at like. Maybe is this like the 5-minute mark? I think it's around this.
I don't know.
And we're already seeing a felony of some kind, right? He's clearly misappropriating government resources. He's clearly misusing access for non-government purposes, non-sanctioned purposes. He's just spying on his daughter and attaching catty notes to the system.
Yeah, and like she's super pregnant.
Yeah.
and yet her threat level is unclear. Like for every time we see her on screen, and I'm like, why? Like, it isn't like super low. It's like, no, this very pregnant woman could be extremely dangerous. We're not sure. Like,
kid might pop out of her at any moment. It's gonna get you. I don't. Yeah, but okay. This is also another thing that it's just okay. We got to take a moment to talk about this. This film has a lot of surveillance of this pregnant daughter's body and location and her activities and what she's putting into her body and what she's doing with her body. It's creepy.
It's so creepy.
This film is so casually creepy and invasive and oddly condoning of it too, by way of father-daughter sentimentality and the old-fashioned codes of protectiveness. But wow, just what it's just one violation after another. Audience, write in. Let us know what you think about this.
Well, I mean, it manifests too in how he treats the boyfriend and just how awful he is. Like anybody, I guess, that's trying to get to his daughter. It is very controlling in that type of girl dad situation, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. But especially, I mean, he'll prioritize her, like we mentioned, over anybody that calls. It's like he'll mute a Zoom call with the president to fucking like, deal with his daughter, frankly. But I'm getting ahead of myself in this fucking trash.
Yeah.
So this is when we get Eva Longoria's character Colin. A Sandra from NASA, and like he inputs people into his contacts like I do, so she's just Sandra NASA, which I probably am just going to call her for the rest of the episode too, as shorthand.
That's his official government Rolodex there. That's a term for you kids.
Well, there's FBI Steve in the movie too. So, I mean, we can.
Yeah, like I'm surprised he doesn't have like Bob Do Not Call and and Jane bitch, or something like that. Like this, it's so catty and just real. God,
they're probably in there. There's a few things. If you like pause, you could see like weird shit on his screen, or like the things he typed. Like at one point, he calls the boyfriend like diaper boy or something, when talking to his daughter, and I'm like, that's a weird and specific condescending statement. That like, I wonder how that came about, but okay. Oh, maybe he's like a delivery driver. Maybe he like actually had to wear a diaper while driving, and it like got leaked back to dad or something, and like not letting him hear the end of it. Like,
jeez.
Oh man, it must be because I was just thinking that's not pro Amazon. Yes.
Ooh, I gotta go back and check. See, there you go. There's actually something interesting to talk about in the film. Maybe.
So Sandra NASA calls, and the song we've been treated to for the whole opening montage, it doesn't like stop like it would in a usual movie. Like Ice Cube pulls up Spotify and stops it, and we're like, ooh. Wow. It never comes back. Like he doesn't like play music for his like hacking anytime. It's just like, that's it. You get that. But
sure, whatever.
It's fine. I don't even remember if there is music in the rest of the movie. Maybe it's because he didn't ever go back and fucking hit play. Like, was there music in the rest of this film?
Oh yeah, no, there's music constantly. It's just it was never sourced. Like that had like an ironic source to it.
Of course,
it was ironically in the world.
I'm sure it's there. My brain's already tried to. I watched this like an hour ago and tried to delete it from my fucking head. Like,
I wish my data were being taken of this film.
Ton of
Eat my
alien
data,
bugs.
please.
So Ice Cube answers the call. I think this is the really rude one. Like the first call, like answers, and he's like, "What?" Eva Longoria's like, "Look, take a look at this," before displaying the craziest goddamn lightning storm I've ever seen, and then some like crazy muffin-shaped clouds, and like she shows like a dozen clips of this, like just like very worrying stuff, and is so nonchalant about it, saying like people can't figure it out. But Will Cube's contribution is deadpan say, "All right, that's just crazy right there," and like, and I was like, hell yeah, this is why Sandra NASA calls for this hard-hitting analysis from you, Will. Like, she fucking goes on to say that like all of NASA's satellites have been down for like 2 days, like another extremely worrying thing, but he couldn't give a single fuck about it. He's like, I don't deal with clouds, I deal with people and stuff. And instead of being concerned about like days of global coverage outage and like the lightning apocalypse, he's messaged about a raid on this disruptor guy that he looked up on his little listy thing and is like, I got bigger fish to fry, and fucking, doesn't care about clouds, he says. And so he's just like, done with you, boop. And like, he hangs up on her so casually all the time. Like
he's kind of a knucklehead. I don't know. He's not very curious. He's kind of, I don't know if rude is the right word. He's just very brusque.
I'm just here to surveil people. I don't know about this fucking cloud shit.
He's a man's man. Even writing that desk, I guess.
Speaking of desk, I mean, we see a very exciting Teams chat where he messages his boss, which is what any office working American wants to see in a good relaxing movie. It's just
Yeah, exactly. Right. They go home and then they get to experience this. Good.
It's the best. And so next we see Ice Cube pull up a video of this disruptor like live streaming on YouTube, which is funny itself. But I mean, but his live streaming is like anonymous-esque, like the government with a voice distorter and a black robe and like Matrix-esque like text behind him as he goes on.
It's very like late 90s hacker fantasy, right? Of like we're doing pirate radio because we're hackers, exposing the big lie, and we're going to get the word out there, I was getting some real late 90s hacker vibes, which I got a real soft spot for cyberpunk hacker-esque nonsense from the 90s, just full disclosure.
Right. And this is like very public, like for the whole, thing, he's constantly surveilling other people, but he like jumps in this public YouTube stream and is like, got him. Didn't have to use the tools this time, but then he does try to like track him down essentially with this, like through his IP and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Because Ice Cube goes, not on my watch, right after the guy's like, he legitimately is like, well, this is bad, the government is spying on us, here's the Goliath, and like, they're gonna do it, and I'm gonna tell you about it. And that's when he's like, no, not on my watch. Like, Ice Cube's like, how dare you expose, like.
Once again, we're kind of cheering for the bad guy here. It feels icky. Anyway.
He uses his tyrannical authoritarian government control to work to identify the guy on screen, warning us about tyrannical authoritarian government control, essentially, is the deal. Like, it's just very immediately like a non-self-aware.
Yeah, exactly. It's hella ironic, but the film doesn't really seem to be aware of it, which is troubling. It's troubling, right? It feels bad when you discover you're genuinely smarter than the film, and not that it was just some bit of profundity that the film made possible to be aware of, right? It's just like, no, wait, I just found the film being completely unaware that it had egg on its face. That's not good.
So when he's like, oh, not on my watch, he starts to like review suspects, or I should say suspect, because he literally gets two people down the list. He sees one person, he's like, no, it wasn't them, and then he gets distracted and immediately starts stalking his daughter again. He's stalking Faith Goodman. We see via the chat that he's her daughter. This is the first time I guess we really saw it, because at first we're like, why is he stalking this pregnant woman? Like the film didn't feel like we needed that away. But she apparently asked him for like a ride to the hospital that he ignored. Which is important, I guess, for later, but it's just like, and then he like FaceTimes her to like, he only FaceTimes her when stalking her, he sees her buy a muffin, because he calls her and is like, a muffin? Really? Like,
when it becomes necessary to control her body, that's when he makes direct contact with her. It's, again, just gross. Some bad metaphors here.
It immediately goes further, because she's like, yeah, I'm having a muffin, what of it? And he's like, well, you haven't had any protein this week. And he's like looking at a live view of her refrigerator, which is, again, just a fucking psychotic thing for any father to be doing, like, to his adult daughter. Because this is like a grown-ass woman. This is not she's... What do we estimate? Like 27? I don't know, like 25?
I honestly can't believe they didn't have a little info panel about like her toilet content, like analyzing the nutrient content by way of her leavings.
That muffin doesn't have enough fiber.
And I can prove this by way of 2 months of data from your toilet. God.
It critiques your grocery shopping habits too. Like it's great. It's just a touching fatherly moment.
Yeah. Again, just some real like, oh yeah, big dad vibes here. You know, just real alpha dad. God, it's just Will T, you know, or Will Cube, is this kind of paunchy, bearded, almost kind of work-based shut-in, right? Kind of a creepy guy who seems to basically be controlling our politics as of late, and I feel like the way that he looks is not exactly an accident, and like his big dad energy it's creeping exactly this way. Mm-hmm. It's very, as much as I dislike this film, I really feel like there is kind of a unified theory about it. You know, there's definitely a perspective, and it's definitely touching on. I'm going to get to this later. There's some right wing ick vibes about this film, and I think this is maybe a way that it kind of starts when we see this particular male character in action.
Yeah, no, I mean that's almost undeniably anything. Masculinity and just being confident more than right a lot of the time, just plowing ahead. Our main character in this film.
It's setting a certain tone.
He's aspirational only to, again, I don't know, question mark, who's the target audience of this perhaps, but
and it's just, you know, it's like, okay, you know, the character's a concerned dad. Okay, you know, like I'm going to try not to be super catty 100% here, and like, okay, let's be sympathetic to the character. It's a concerned father in this day and age, and these are the things that exist in this day and age. They're all legal. They're all there. They all kind of exist. It's uncomfortable to think about it, but it is all there, and so it's
he does use some legal things, I guess. But
well, I mean, this technology exists in some ostensible, like, readily available fashion. Like the way that it's so unified in this is the surveillance porn aspect. You know, it's the kind of easeful power part about it that makes it pornographic, I would say.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And especially because, I mean, this is legal stuff and parents can use it. In fact, the very next thing it talks about, or it has happened, is he fires up a TeamViewer, which is you can just like look at people's computer and control them and stuff, often using tech support.
Sure. Yeah.
It's funny because it specifically calls out it's the free version, though, in the film, like non-commercial use only. Like, I don't know why they possibly would have done that. It's like...
Did they run out of budget?
I know. Like, they sponsored us a little bit, but not enough for us to advertise their paid version. Like, that was the funniest thing to me because, like,
because this film has some heavy brand.
Oh
placement.
my god, yeah, like
unbearable, really.
It's just undeniable and in your face constantly of it.
So yeah, it was that specific is interesting.
But Ice Cube, Will Cube, detects a gaming headset having been bought and goes to delete a Steam game off of somebody's PC in a coffee-fueled rage.
Yeah, that's a real bitch move. That really is.
That distracts him from his total surveillance daughter state for a moment. So we immediately find out it's his son's computer. I mean, it makes sense, but it's because his son calls him and is like, "Hey, Dad, what the fuck?"
Justifiably.
And Ice Cube says, "Get a job." It's like,
well, mic drop there, Will Cube. All right, there you go.
His son does say, "It's like that is my job." So I think he goes streaming or something, but like, it's a whole boomer ass conversation he has with his fucking like son here on this stuff.
Yeah, or I guess like, I guess Gen X dad. This is like Gen X dad, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus his millennial child or Gen Z child.
Yeah.
We're old, Kyle. We're really old.
Yeah,
you know that?
I guess so.
We're tired old men.
He's essentially just like, get a job, and he's like, the NSA is recruiting next month, and his son's immediately like spying on what's in people's Amazon carts, and like Will Cube gets very defensive about this.
Again, another real bitch move there. Like, this is some real petty shit.
Yeah, Will Cube is upset about that, and it's like, is that what you think I do? And like, considering what we've seen him do, and like so much worse, it's like maybe he should think that.
Yeah, maybe just stick to that. Yeah. You know? Jeez. Yeah.
And like your petty refrigerator stocking, so like you can't complain about the Amazon cart comparisons. So sure, Dad. But then the other thing, this is a great conversation, yeah, because the fucking after he's like, oh, spying on people's Amazon carts, the Dad's like, that's not what I do. The son goes, why'd you get promoted?
Blam. Take that.
And then they disagree about privacy and respect because they definitely fundamentally don't agree on those things.
Yeah,
as you could see, yeah. But we also learned here that William Cube's wife has recently died.
Yes.
As the son brings it up by calling it Mom's house instead of his house, which, again, I guess a bird. I don't know. Mom made more money is the implication, perhaps, or like.
I wasn't exactly. I wasn't sure. That felt like a dig, but I wasn't sure if it was just like it was that, you know, that hers was the money in the family, or she was the one everyone liked. I don't know.
Right. She made it a home. Who knows? Yeah, but it's certainly not a kind thing to say, regardless.
Yeah, you know, little dead wife dig there.
But he has a real reaction on screen, which I don't know if that was just because like. There wasn't one in the script, or just like, again, he's not great at reacting to things in this movie,
or because he cannot act and has no talent
as
an actor.
A masterclass in literally reacting the same to everything, whether it's like a lack of steak in the fridge or some like electrostatic apocalypse, where he's like, "Damn, that's terrible."
Oh my god! Yeah, okay. Just devil's advocate. What did he have to work with here? It would take a fantastic director to direct someone in this kind of like glass bottle environment, right? He's just in a room, right? He's just basically doing a React video on camera, so. I don't know. Like, does Ice Cube deserve some sympathy here? I don't know. Maybe.
Sure. I mean, again, this was a COVID film in every sense of that word. This was filmed in like September 2020, so we were like, we were well into this. Like, it was about a year on from COVID-19.
Yeah,
and so this was done in a way that every actor is in their own room, and so certainly it's just not good. Visually in that way, like I mean, like I love a season or a show called Game Changer on Dropout, and like I've just recently started watching through all the seasons instead of like episode by episode. But there's a whole season that's just like COVID, and I can't bring myself to watch it. It's the same people and the funny whatever, but they're all just on their Zoom things at home, and you know, like it just is like kind of a bummer. And like this is a little bit of the undercurrent of this movie too. Is like because of this is all happening, it's like could this have been shot in a better way? And the answer is like. Should be immediately like, yes. Like there's no like waiting. There's no thinking about it. Like this could have been a way better movie.
Sure. Yeah. There's some constraint based filmmaking going on here, for sure. For sure, in a way that's kind of punishing, if you actually can sit through this film.
And it didn't turn out great. So I didn't even in the COVID times where people were putting out this sort of content. I guess they were just like. Oh
yeah,
it's real bad. Like we shouldn't punish America further in this pandemic by making them watch this too.
Bless them. Yeah. They waited until we were long and past before unleashing this. Yeah, so good.
Then murder hornets, volcanoes, wildfires, and the War of the Worlds 2020. Like,
don't those days seem kind of nice by comparison now?
Oh,
right? Yeah, it was just all we had to worry about was being scandalized by Carol Baskin and. Yeah. The halcyon days of deep COVID.
We had a few months of unity before people just started disagreeing again about everything.
Yeah.
It's great, but
yeah. Anyway,
so we were transitioning to the next thing via push notification, our little gimmicky ass computer driven narrative, and I'm already annoyed at the fact that this is how the editing goes, but. That's how we fucking do it in this movie. So we see Ice Cube having gotten the IP address of this disruptor, and so he messages just FBI on Teams to get a search warrant. And it doesn't even appear to be like a channel or anything because nobody else had talked in it prior. Except I think he had one message that was unanswered. It was just him, and so like the FBI didn't answer to his prior message, but like he's like, FBI, here you go. And funny enough, FBI Steve messages back and it's like. I'm on it, like he slaps his little easy button as like another bit of blatant production or like a product placement with like staples. The fucking easy button shows up like 4 times in this movie, but
and this is where I just someone who works for the FBI, please write in, let us know. Is this how it's done? Like where high level communication for actionable intelligence and whatnot, it's just like a Facebook message or whatnot.
Just casually fired off. Yeah,
it just seems super casual. Is that? I just. Oh boy!
I need a warrant.
Can someone confirm this? I just always assumed that it was something more hardened, but I'm probably giving way too much like faith. And like I'm having too much confidence in government and tech. I think. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is what he messaged for was a search warrant, so it is just crazy casual. But like, we immediately get another product placement in the form of Amazon taking up most of the screen with like uniform and warehouse because we meet is it son-in-law? I guess they're married, right? Like,
well, it's baby daddy. It's
baby
daughter's
right.
Baby daddy.
Right. It doesn't say like husband.
but his name I think is like it's something like Mark Goodman or something.
I have it, but yeah, it's Mark something for sure.
Just again, the writing of this film, these names, they're just so on the nose. The daughter's name is Faith. As we're later going to find out, there's a David and Goliath.
There is a
convention.
David and Goliath,
the baby daddy's last name is Goodman because he's a good man. Just come on.
I don't know if it was that. I'll have to look it up again.
It's just Jesus.
So. No, it is Mark Goodman. You're totally right. Yeah. We see it's Mark Goodman. This is just a white guy who's just trying to bond with his father-in-law and has no idea how to keep his face in frame. Honestly, at this point, like shaky cam becomes like a core staple of this movie, which is what pissed me off about this film. Like,
well, I think, and there are certain ways that they code their different positions in masculinity, right? You have Will Cube's stable face taking up the entire frame, and then you have
that's true.
More
He's
boyish,
fumbling,
more boyish Mark Goodman and his more fumbling camera, where he's struggling to stay in the frame at all, right?
Yeah.
It's some gender coding.
It certainly is, yeah. I guess more picturing our hero here better, to Mark's just silly, goofy, and like can't even do that right, Mark. As I sit here and surveil and hope the world and save it.
He is an unproven young male, and this is how we know it. His shaky position in the frame. So sure, again, something nice to talk about in the film. There's a little bit of there's some figurative devices that contrast the characters. Sure, cool.
And he's just like portrayed as like a swell guy, whereas like Ice Cube's kind of a grumpy bitch because he even holds up. He's like, "We got you a shirt, and it says Grandpa Sharks. They have a little baby shark coming, And, but then he's like, "Oh yeah, it's for like the shower," and Will Cube's like, "The what? I don't know what that means." And like instead of like rashly messaging Faith, his daughter, which he does. He starts to. He's like, hey, would I should message you about a baby shower. I didn't hear about this. He deletes that and then resumes stalking her on his giant government apparatus.
And it was that, why didn't you tell me about the shower? You know that I'll find out eventually. It was very.
It was more, that like.
Yeah, it was very. It's like, well, of course, the father of this woman, his daughter, of course he would find out. But just given what we've seen for the first 15 minutes, it's like it's a menacing thing to say that he doesn't send. Good for him. He decides he has a realization that on what level of irony does he have this realization? Who knows? But he has a realization. He doesn't send it, but then he just goes back to stalking her by like breaking into her text message communications to find out about the baby shower, and so.
Self-reflection right out that window. After he deletes the message, he's like, I can do this without her anyways. And so I guess it kind of reminded him he needed to be an overbearing father again. So he jumps back to TeamViewer, and we get an exciting sequence of him changing a password. Like, we just go through like a minute and a half of like, the password is wrong. I need to change it. And he like messages a guy, and the guy's like, I will change your password. And then they change the password, and we proceed. But I hate that. that is the least exciting thing to have happen in like a film or movie, and we went through the whole process. Like, this movie is 90 minutes exactly. Like, it's barely what most people are like feature film length or something. And when you think about things like that and like padding it just is like, there's so little here. There's so little like actual things going on.
Yeah, when you think about how many seconds of people on screen there are, it's not much. It's really not. Like, the interface is probably the main character of the film.
Plus a lot of like previously used film and stuff via like news organizations and whatever, because they did the same thing. Like Monday did. They cannibalized old film often and like added in some stuff if anything. But.
This film really abuses their access to a stock footage library.
It sure does.
Yeah, it really, really does.
Every so often, there was like 3 times where like they would just have like a break for little news montages. Ice Cube would just like make that same dumb face at the fucking TV and be like, "Oh no." It was, oh man, but okay, I think this is what it just gets really funny. The stalking is just out of control in this scene because he goes back to TeamViewer. Once he gets the password finally finished, he's stalking Faith's computer this time, not David's, and we immediately see a conversation between Mark and Faith happening in like the iMessage screen there about how he's probably spying on them. And like they're just a very cute couple in text. Like, there's nothing, any other red flag or whatever that this father should have reason to be like, spying on here. But then they joke back and forth too. He's like, did he even accept your friend request, Mark? And Ice Cube's like, shit. And then he goes back and like accepts it right then. And I'm like, well, that's suspicious. Like, if he ever did, like, he was like, just now, actually. Like, because he gets his friend like a notification sometimes. So I'm like, you okay?
If they ever correlate that,
creep. But he gets a notification while he's on Facebook, because now he's over there. He gets a notification about his dead wife, and then messages his dead wife, and I miss you, which, there's like, he does like one per year, apparently.
It's a touching moment.
It's
just in appreciating this film for what it can be appreciated for.
Certainly.
This is a touching moment. I actually like this, how it was presented.
It called to mind, I mean, like, the fact that we will all have sort of monuments of a certain generation after he died. He just have these, like, pages and stuff. And I mean, he has a little voice memo of his wife listening where it's just like, what is it, like, take out the trash and be nice to the kids. And he definitely, I don't know if he ever took out the trash, but he's still working on that be nice to the kids thing. Like, I'm working on it. So... Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I have bad news for you, lady. I never heard that voicemail of I hope he took out that trash. Okay, so it's now he gets a message from FBI Steve on Teams where they confirm the warrant, and he slaps the easy button twice to get that Staples money, but also like, God, that's just callous and ridiculous. Yeah, again, this is just like, warrant, got you, buddy, and then he's like, woo woo, easy, like, take that, right? So,
yeah, he's like spiking in the end zone a bit, for sure.
You can do this with your process. Like. So
yeah, this film is just nonstop problematic for really like the first 15 minutes of the film, basically nonstop. It's really it's kind of grim and dystopian if you just start counting it all and putting it on a list.
Well, so is life right now.
Well,
but,
yeah. Well, that's the show, everyone. That'll be our last show, I think.
We're here as a respite, some sort of weird, cynical bubble for you to come into and have a nice, quiet time of
exactly
shit onto this movie with us.
As we style off of this film.
He's FaceTimed by an agent already on the way to their rest for some reason. Like, she's literally like en route, even though he like just got this warrant. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, we get some multi-camera kind of military like TACCOM
right, because he loops in the director right away, played by the actor most known as Phil Coulson from MCU Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there.
Okay.
But he is the director of Homeland Security, and they pop him in there, and they're all very concerned that Disruptor would release info publicly about the Goliath problem, which apparently can pretty much see everything and like is what they say. And the example they show this to us with, as we see Ice Cube click through it, is he's clicking through a camera where a cat opens a door and then a toddler just waylays another toddler with a laundry basket, like, in the face. And so I'm like, wait, is this what we're surveilling? Like, while he's viewing this critical national security video footage of toddler-on-toddler violence, he ignores a message from Sandra Nass about the weather getting worse, presumably to give more attention to this toddler situation. This fucking movie is like
it's actually very realist. You know, the imminent disaster that's happening would be ignored for memes, for cat videos, for toddlers smacking each other. Yes,
I think it
imagine
would be. Why these were the examples? These two particular fucking clips. I paused it and sat there dumbfounded at this moment.
It says nothing good about our protagonist here. This is a really just thin guy, thin on profundity and depth. Just, geez, who is this? He's just he's just a knucklehead. I don't know. Like, just, God.
So the agents is.
Am I ragging too hard?
The fucking agents are moving in on Disruptor's presumed location, and of course are juked by this person because they're all idiots. They just find a suitcase in like an empty apartment, and nothing in it. We're treated to some very shaky cam footage of some sort of explosion in sky smoke, though, cutting all the feeds Ice Will Cube has.
Yeah, this is when we get the first meteors, right? Is this?
Yes, yeah. He makes an extremely concerned scrunchy face, and then starts clicking around to see what he can still see, because he starts losing a lot of cameras. He's like, my cameras! But and this is the same face. Like, if you click on this movie, it's the same stupid scrunchy face he makes in the like poster thing, which is why I texted Tommy as part of this. And so like you're gonna see a lot of that face, and it's happening now and for quite some time in this particular scene.
This is his blue steel. for sure.
But it's like the same face again between like my daughter doesn't eat enough protein and like there's a flaming meteor rocketing down upon the Taj Mahal or something. Like he doesn't have like a different escalating reaction. It's all the same.
It's concern plus, oh hell no. It's just that's the vibe he gives. It's just kind of indignant, but also concerned, I guess.
I wrote down it's like somebody like aggressively farted at him, and it like just broke his brain.
Yeah,
he's just like, I can't believe you've done that because this is kind of an aggressive scrunch, like a little anger in there, but
but it's also a defensive gesture. To protect his face.
The nose. I mean, he also like during this one like starts bobbing his head at different angles and like throwing his hands up in the air, which is like
Ice Cube's face, as we're discovering, is a Rorschach test. By which you know yourself, because his face is just pure pattern. It means nothing.
He doesn't hardly do anything the whole movie. Like I have a note, he gets up twice, but like this was the most like he ever did. He like threw his hands up in the air once on this because he was like, the meteors, like. It's like, way to emote, buddy. Like, you did it.
Egads, meteors.
And like, meanwhile, Sandra Nass is just like spamming it with a message about this is global and a caller, and there's like 7 of them. And I'm like, what the fuck is Will Cube gonna do? First of all, like, he didn't give a shit about you earlier, like your whole problems and stuff. But I mean, the last thing she said is like a video saying she's headed to a crash site, but that DC like will get hit. She was like, oh, by the way, because you're not answering me, like you're gonna get fucking hit by meteors, like you prick, like.
You smug bastard. Here's meteors.
And we see the building like start to shake right after that. It's like Will's like, oh shit, like shit's
the room shaking.
Yeah.
I'm shaking.
No. It's a very shaky movie. Yeah, in like every sense of that phrase. Like, he desperately looks around for the cause of this explosion or an acting coach. I couldn't tell, but it was one of those things. Like, but finding neither, he starts his stalking of everyone.
That's a wash burner right there. Wow.
He found neither, and he starts stalking everyone and everything up again. And he eventually finds his daughter huddled under a table at her office. Again, it's just the first thing. He doesn't like check the world or anything. Like, I'm pretty sure he has a job like that he's employed to be like, is the world okay? But he's like, nah, fuck the world. Like,
well, okay. So this brings me to a moment where it's like, okay, I'm going to appreciate something nice about the film. This is the part of the film after the meteors, after you like the first big like bit of drama is happening and unfolding, that he's asked to produce the domestic threat assessment, and he is basically splitting his focus between that and his kids. And so there's kind of a metaphor about the 2 different domestic threat assessments that he's trying to juggle. Sure. I could appreciate the kind of figurative setup of it.
It is funny to like be like get a report as the apocalypse is happening, and you have to like go and do a spreadsheet because you're like fucking spreadsheeting about the apocalypse.
Yeah, it doesn't forgive the film, but at least they were there's something there. It's
definitely. I mean, you see as we'll go the push and pull between family and work, but it's mostly family.
Sure,
it's okay. I guess it every time family wins, he really does it. But like, I don't know. So is he good at his job? Like he's kind of I don't know.
That's a good question. Yeah, like what's the material evidence of him being good at his job? I guess he. Well, I mean, he does coordinate.
He didn't do anything all movie. He looked at things and they were like, threat level, good. And he was like, thumbs up. He didn't do a whole lot, frankly.
Wow. This is a question we got to come back. We got to circle back to this one, Kyle.
After we get to the end, we'll see, like, what did he actually do to affect anything in this movie?
Prove to me that he is actually capable at his job. Yeah, this is going to be, this is going to be brutal.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, in a, like, immediate display of being bad at his job, he gets a message from his boss with a lot of exclamation points and question marks being like, where are you? Get on Zoom. Which is, again, fucking hilarious to me for many reasons. aliens, but like in the apocalypse, get on Zoom. Like, but he does not get on Zoom yet. He ignores that, and he FaceTimes his son as his son's like running down the street while meteors fly overhead, and like, but like I've written down like, where's he running to? Like, were the meteors gonna not get him that way or something? Like, and an immediate like, what the fuck are we even doing here? Will Cube in his magical application types in Dave Rayford's location. It doesn't specify anything else literally about like what Dave Rayford, whatever, but it jumps in. It's like, boom, I got Dave Rayford right here. And then Ice Cube starts saying like, turn left, go this way. And I'm like, was there meteors to the right? Like what? He's running from meteors. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like,
good point. I guess I felt like it would be more dramatic.
It is. It's one of those things.
There's no plausible reason for it otherwise. Because like what you said, like where are you running? Where are you gonna go? I mean, those meteors seem to be striking everywhere. I don't know. What are you gonna do? You know.
And they probably didn't even have extras like being like, because they could be like, people are stampeding this way, go this way. But the camera's pointed at the sky the whole time because they didn't want to hire extras probably. And so like, what are they? You can at least simulate like a noise or like a hand in frame or something, or like but no, they just like
there could have been something. Yeah.
There was literally no threat as he's guiding him through this, like, turn left, go the other way, do this. And, like, I don't know. One of the dumbest things in a dumb movie to me, for sure. I just... but there's an electrical noise and things break up, and so like he keeps jumping from like person to person call. Most connections seem pretty bad right now on the whole screen life. There's a lot of glitching and likely severed infrastructure. Because flaming meteors into things. And we see the zoom as William is now in it, and Sandra is walking around at the crash site of the meteors. One of them, she's just like going on and rubbing it. She says like it's cold, and she's just rubbing all up on it. And then it like wakes up and starts moving, and we like lose contact with her. She's like, and it's like, what did you? Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
You didn't.
If you might as well just go touch it.
Yeah.
Why not? Just put your naked hand right on the alien.
Did anyone think of doing this?
You know, why not? Okay.
This is how she got hired at NASA, Tom. It was these big brain decisions.
Why not just lick it next? What does it taste like? Let's find out.
We have to for science.
For science.
Oh my god! Yeah. So weirdly, the Secretary of Defense in this call, in the Zoom call, is on the golf course, and he stays on the golf course for like most of the movie. Like he never like he's never like walking towards like somewhere to be like, I have to get into like a bunker or the office. Like he's just like on the golf course and like the same hole.
I appreciate this guy's vibe. I like his lifestyle. He doesn't leave the golf course for anything at all. Yeah. End of the world be damned.
Who do we know like that? Yeah, like
he's gonna get the full 18 holes in.
Oh my god. I have up Will Cube like pulls up Teams and like clicks video call on Sandra as if like that will help, or like the aliens won't have killed her then or something, where he's like, hang on, pick back up or whatever, like okay, I fixed it from my Oracle tower up here.
Just one of the many times that technology it's magical, but that's not really the right word, because magical would imply some kind of whimsy that this film doesn't have. It just works. Yeah. It just works. Inexplicably, in just profoundly robust ways that are just oddly intuitive and borderline magical. Maybe I'll live to see the day. I don't know.
Don't ask him to explain it though. Yeah. The few times they have to do that in the movie, it's like they're like, please don't Google these terms. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of hand wavium going on, I guess. But
we said SSL. Is that fine? That's probably fine. Yeah. Yeah, he also ignores this vital meeting with like the Joint Chiefs and the president to like again stalk his daughter. It's like, as the higher ups, they literally say on the call, like right before he like mutes it, he's like, "You're our eyes and ears, Will. You're vital." And then he mutes the call and then doesn't do his job. He calls his daughter.
Yeah,
like
there was something about that felt like a video game prompt. Like this would be a moment in like some kind of interactive video game scene where they're now queuing you up to start Act 2. Or something.
Yeah.
Like there's just something that felt very like heavy-handedly deliberate, and maybe this is just kind of, well, it's something to talk about later. This film just embodies so much in shitification about media, and this is just one of the many things that struck me. Anyway,
this next moment feels like it was made for film and probably wouldn't happen in real life either, because like he goes to a different teams meeting with this like Agent Jeffries that was running down the street, and there's like an alien, and she's like, "What are the rules of engagement?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" Like, and he no, I have this written down. He doesn't say what do you mean.
Yeah.
He goes, "Engagement? Shit if I know. Don't do nothing."
Yes. That was a line that I also noted. Because we're in good hands, folks. The Department of Homeland Security's got us covered.
I had to pause it too there. It was like, first it's dumb that you ask, like, and then you're like, there's literally like a race of aliens just like flaming upon us and like lasering jets down, and it's like you have a pistol, like, I don't know, try and shoot at it is the fucking rule of engagement. But second, like, you're asking for confirmation from a presumably high up government guy who should be doing his job, and he's like, my job? Shit, I don't know. Don't do nothing.
I don't know what I'm expecting. How would people talk when the end of the world is happening? Like, I guess they would just they just let their hair down and just talk as people do. But am I expecting more formal speak from higher ups in the bureaucracy? God, oh God!
Well, I mean, I just have written down like, why does anybody call this man? He's yet to be helpful in any way. Like,
why do they call this guy? Why is he in the middle of everything? Oh my God! Oh, jeez.
So we've not even seen an alien yet. This is the first time we see the alien. It's Agent Jeffries is right by one. It's a big white tripod of an alien. It's like maybe the size of like an 8-story tall building. I don't know. It's hard to like get an exact.
It seems big. You know, like I'm trying to think of something for scale, like.
That's what I was struggling with, and like they seem the same size and proportions as like the other War of the Worlds movie.
Yeah, like you've seen like Neon Genesis. You know, it's about that size. You know, like as tall as a building. You know, like big. You know, that's the feeling I had. It's not exactly clear because everything's done from like COVID ragged perspectives.
Right.
But,
yeah. Oh my God, they're shooting like up from their phones so much.
Yeah.
But it's a tall thing. It steps on cars. Like it's a big ass monster thing.
It's Godzilla-esque in size and in scale.
And she's rightfully terrified and needing help. And she asks what the hell that thing even is. But Will's son calls, so he's like, "Well, bye." And another example again of like, you're a good father or family man, but like, are you good at your job? But despite him giving that son call priority, again, I guess I shouldn't call him a good father soon. He says, I forgot this call. He ignores his son as he explicitly says things like, I know what's going on here. As Ice Cube said, nobody knows what's going on here. And then the son says, I have information you need to know. And Willie Cube shuts that shit down too and says, not now, to jump back on his call with Jeffries. So I'm like, why didn't you even take that call? Mind you, like, I don't know.
Trying too hard to set something up. Yeah, it's just kind of, again, this script is just dumb, and this is just kind of a heavy-handed setup. You know, it's like, oh, he's got some kind of critical secret, but we're just gonna let that marinate. We're gonna give you a little teaser. Yeah. It's a good one. But we're going to circle back.
He knows
to
it, but it's like again we have to reach a certain film runtime, so it's like we can't do it too soon. We have to fuck around a little longer.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have now at this point I am nauseous because of how much shaky cam has happened. Like Agent Jeffries really pushed me on this, and so like It's just a big part of the film, and the alien in her area lasers down some helicopters and seems to step on Jeffries, or like at least a nearby car exploding her Jeffries. Like I'm not sure, but and Ice Cube, bless him, does his best to react to a human dying, but it eludes him. He takes, it just doesn't work. And I can't describe.
Bless his heart, but he just.
He then takes a swing at reacting to even more footage of these terrifying giant aliens. I shit you not, comes up with, damn. This is a movie.
Have some respect. Yeah, no, it feels like a React video. It just feels like a React video, and maybe that's clever. Maybe it's clever to use a narrative form that is familiar to a younger generation. I just keep wanting to, God, like there's a good recipe here, but all these ingredients are bad. They're all bad. They're all just rotten and just off. And so it doesn't matter if there's maybe a recipe there. It's just, oh God, these ingredients.
And it's like, if you're going to do it like this and have like a workplace thing, like why not operate like a workplace? Because the next fucking thing that happens is, okay, everybody in the world can see right now. It's all over the like channels everywhere that there's flaming robots and they're shooting things. Fucking this idiot Will messages his DHS director boss just now in Teams and on all capitals goes, "We are under attack, machines and meteors," in all capital letters. And like, it's like, okay. Like, he probably knew that by now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, I guess that is the connective bit of information, but meteors and then sometimes later giant robots is bad enough. It's yes, you're correct, but it is kind of late. Yeah.
And like not 2 seconds later, he gets back a fully like formed reply from the person that was like, "That is great information. But would you like to get on with the president and make a report, because it's like bureaucracy is necessary in this crisis." Even though he just typed a crazy thing to you in all caps, it's like.
Yeah, exactly. It's again just God, the writing's just terrible. Yeah, there's a need for protocol and proper procedure, but just the singular terror list and just bullshit like that. Oh my God.
Do you not enjoy lists? Because frankly, the very next thing he does is start making a spreadsheet. And don't worry, listeners, we get to watch. I know you're worried, but we were not denied this thrill.
Yeah, that's the thing about the screen life. Like perspective is just, God, I mean, from just like a granular documentarian perspective, sure, this stuff's important, but come on, like there's like a social contract with a film. Like you're expecting something a little bit more gussied up, right. You know, something a little bit more sexed up than this,
or just like skip certain
parts.
It's
expected.
Like have a montage, and at the end he can like look over a completed spreadsheet and be like, "This is what happened."
Yeah,
it's like he'll like watch a flood clip and then type in like flood, and you're like, oh, okay. Did we need that step in this?
Yeah. It's just exactly. God.
He then gets a call from his daughter, who I don't know if she's like an idiot, but she's like right by this giant robot, and then like called him and was like, "Dad?" ? Like, but like. Do you know the moment I'm talking about? Where like she calls me, she's like right there.
I do, but I just love your setup. Well, we okay, folks. We got two options here. One, she's just total idiot, or two.
She could be an idiot just because she's like never had to make a decision in her life. She's been stalked and like her dad made them for her or something. Like,
I would like. Well, apparently she's a biologist. a biological researcher.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. She had like a big breakthrough, so she's definitely not like an idiot.
So
I guess she's book smart and nothing else. Like, can't rule out certain other things.
Once again, we're familiar with this character from any number of other films that we've watched. You know, book smart, world dumb is kind of a recurring archetype for female characters, unfortunately, as we keep running into.
So she like runs away from the robot, and like the flaming character the robot hits that's coming at her. We get like footage of her falling down and the alien walking over her, and we're not sure if she's alive. And like Ice Cube gets to yell at the screen like he does sometimes. He's just like, no. Probably team calls her like, are you alive? The team's called you. Like,
yeah, this is some of his fine acting too. The way that he just says no.
And it's like he immediately tries to call 911, which is so fucking funny. And like in the apocalypse or whatever, like I don't know what he possibly thought would happen.
That's a good point. Like he's a higher up in the surveillance stage. If anyone would know when calling 911, it's not going to be worth a damn. I just. Oh my God, just everything about this film is so dumb. It's just so dumb. Just come on.
It is creepy too. I mean, when we talk about her body and stuff, the way he finds out she's alive, because it like, again, she maybe got stepped on, maybe bad things happen, and we just see like the phone pointed at the sky. But then we see he like accesses her Apple Watch and health info to be like, she has a heart rate.
Which, okay, you know, like
kind of smart.
That's plausible. Like, that's smart. If this guy wasn't so creepy about surveilling his daughter, like this would be maybe a nicer element, but it just kind of reminds you of it reminded me of the ick factor. I know it's supposed to be kind of like an uplifting moment. Hey, he thought of some way to like confirm his daughter's alive, but it just harkened back to like monitoring her muffin intake. Jesus Christ.
And kind of monitoring her muffin, frankly, from what we see.
Hey-o. Yeah.
So this is the first time we see Will Cube stand up in the movie. I'll call it out because one of two.
Yes.
But just another like get on your feet moment. He says he's coming to get her, but immediately finds out he can't leave and is like, oh no, I'll just keep doing weird COVID filming then. Like, but he's like, oh, I must be like DEFCON 1, which would like lock down essential buildings. But then we go with him on like a shaky cam adventure as he tries to find a way out. But he does find time to spy on his daughter via satellite in that time. Like he's remarkable at finding time for this, like all of the time.
And different means too. He exhausts every conceivable means.
Oh my God, yeah.
Of monitoring his daughter's actions.
Public camera, private camera, laptop, phone. This one he figures this is a satellite, like I said, and he uses his unethically broad hacking powers to hack a Tesla near his now injured daughter and tells her to get inside it. As the alien is like coming back and it's like, oh no, you better get in it, and it's like it's coming so quickly, and I feel like this was a weird bit of like editing or CGI not quite lining up with what was happening on screen. But like she was so slow and like so deliberate and like just like gingerly pulling herself up into this like auto car, and like he was not even like that, be like, you have to go like no thing, when it was like right up on them, like it was about to step on them at any moment.
She's injured. I don't know.
It's fine. I just like, I don't know.
But I not the finest directing of any film ever. So there might be a mismatch in tone between various components. Because
she's like very nearly crushed to death, if like it's to be believed on the whatever. But even in like getting away from it, she's not like, and like woo or whatever. It was just like she's just like leaning back and being like, I'm so pregnant, and it's like, okay, like you already were rather pregnant, but you were like about to be very pregnant and crushed to death, and like you could react to that maybe, but
you would think someone would still be a little keyed up from seeing freaking alien giant robots. I don't know. This film's just so bad in so many levels.
Well,
anyway.
like, it makes you question your reaction to things because you're like, am I the one that would react wrong to this? It's like, no, it's the movie people that are wrong in this.
Did I miss something? Yeah, I guess in that way the film, like, is the film gaslighting you? Like, yeah, maybe. Oh,
and so, like, I don't know, Will Cube's like, yeah, wow, that went great. And it seems like all the hospitals are full, which is bad for somebody in labor now. She seems like she's in labor. Yeah, she's just crying, having survived death and seeing the destruction around her. But, like, this is the moment. She's, okay, again, set the scene. Crying, sad, almost got crushed, bleeding. And Ice Cube goes, hey, I don't blame you for not wanting me at your shower. And she very appropriately, like, just like I was, she goes, now? Like, we have to do this now? Like, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, are you kidding me? Does that matter even the smallest bit right now? There damn well may not be a shower. Like, we're fucking being, like, invaded. And it's like, hey, I know.
This is not about you, Will Cube.
Oh my god, that was so...
Just kind of a knucklehead. Just kind of a knucklehead. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, I really, there are so many times when I didn't feel like they were responding enough to the fact that here are giant alien robots. Just the panic is just not sustained, and it's just weird. You know, like, I kind of felt like I was being gaslighted. Like, what am I missing here? Like, the world has just rapidly moved on from this. You know, like, the characters just seem to be just kind of, like, nonchalant about it in some ways. Like, just bad directing is what I chalk it up to. But
because there has to be something, or there's a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Again, because this took forever to come out. But it was, Ice Cube signed on in 2020 to, like, an unnamed, unwhatever film. And then it wasn't until 2024 they came out with this, like, branding for the film. And so it could have been, like, something completely different. And then they were like, maybe they got the license. Maybe they were like, this is a shit movie. We need a title or, like, something that will bring people in, frankly.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're not. Maybe they filmed something different than the CGI'd in, like, these aliens. I'm very curious about that myself.
Maybe, yeah.
So
that would explain it.
I don't know, because you're just like, you should react more like what you just saw. Like, we're definitely, I don't know, but okay. So Faith finally has a bit enough with that. She's just like, that was a fucked up thing to say to me, like, in this moment. And so she goes on to be like, I think you have too much power in the world, and, like, you think you have too much of, like, you think you have the power to get rid of your wife's disease or to make me happy or save the world. And then she's like, you don't have any power, none. You got to let go, which is, you know, going quite a bit the other way. But maybe he needed to hear that, and so this causes Ice Cube to try and look sad, but it just comes out as the same face again. Like, it was just the same face.
Yeah. Yeah, and I felt like this delivery, it was very subtext heavy. You know, just this is a character explaining the subtext of the film as opposed to saying lines that exist in this world. You know, and that's just bad writing. You know, it's just a writer who couldn't really come up with any kind of narrative way of developing this point by way of metaphor, you know, or setup, or, you know, just things like that. Just. Great. Yes. He's got a thing with power and thinking that he has power and whatnot, but I don't know. It just,
for sure. I mean, it's like the one, because again, the writing's so bad. It's like it sticks out when they're trying to do something like sincere or bigger or like in a more overarching way. And it is odd because it comes from a daughter that like she doesn't say anything like this the rest of the film. So it is like
it's the writer speaking.
Yes. Yeah. It's very much that. It's not her voice really. It's something else in here. So I mean, that just happens. It's just like, you don't have power, none. You got to let it go. And it's essentially them writing this, like throwing that in your face, being like, that's what's happening here. Because we saw him have all the power and be daddy at Keys to the Kingdom at the beginning or something. So whatever. Well, Well, as it turns out, again, we did put probably more effort into this than they put into their movie, and it is a long one again. So we're going to be breaking this up into 2 parts, and so we will see you soon after this. It'll be released within the week, part 2, but we're going to call this one here.
Yeah, we got more to say about this film.
To yell.
Stay tuned.